Hey there, fellow classic comic collectors. As always, I'm Scott Harris King, and today I've got a new store visit. In fact, this is the first of a few store visits because I had a big adventure today. Yes, I spent the afternoon driving around to some comic shops just north of Boston, three of which I've never been to before. So, I'm going to have several videos here over the next few weeks documenting the comic stores that I went to. And today we're getting to one that I've never been to before, but I've tried to get to before. It's Magic Dragon Comics in Arlington, Mass. I'll put that up here on the map. I also have some video outside and inside the store. It was pouring rain when I got there. Luckily, I got a spot right outside the shop. Now, I mentioned that I've tried to get to the store before. You may even remember me talking about the store in a previous video because I went there once before, and I called just as I was like a few minutes away to ask what their hours were, and they said they were decided to close early because there weren't any customers. And I was like, I'm a customer, but they closed. And I had seen that sort of in the Yelp reviews and whatever online, saying that sometimes hard to find them. Their posted hours aren't necessarily their real hours. So they're supposed to be open today. I called, and sure enough, went right to voicemail, and there was an answer machine saying they weren't open. But I had to drive by there to get to one of the other shops I was going to anyway. So just before I got there, I decided to call them a second time, and what do you know? They were actually open. So I stopped by, finally got to see Magic Dragon Comics, and it was interesting. This is a new location for them. They have quite a lot of back issues, but they basically just moved, and the guy there said that when they moved, they had also just bought a giant collection of comics. It looked to me like it might have been inventory from a different store. I don't know, but there was a lot of back issues that only about 20% of them had been sorted through and were priced. The rest of them were in boxes so you could go through them, but there were big signs on all of them saying that they had not yet been priced. So if you got anything out of there, they'd have to price them. Now, I normally don't like when the comic stores don't have this stuff priced, but given the circumstances, I understand. And at least in this way, you can see the stuff, you know. So it's a little bit different. There's places where they just don't price anything. And then they wait for people to bring the stuff up. Here is the case they are pricing things. They just hadn't had the time to go through everything. So I went through everything. I was skeptical that I didn't think I was going to find too much. The stuff on the walls, some of the other stuff I looked through. Again, as I always try and say in these videos, I'm not saying it was overpriced, but I am a cheapskate. So I always try and find the bargains, the deals, and frankly, there's just not very much I'm looking for. A lot of cases I go to stores, I just want to support them and, you know, find something cool to buy. So that can sometimes be a challenge. So they had some cool issues, you know, up on the wall of keys, but everything was a little bit more than I wanted to pay. But I ended up actually finding quite a bit. So I came away pretty happy with this. So let me show you what I got. First off, a new comic. It's this comic. You know, they just put out this Disney 100th anniversary special series variant covers where homaging classic Marvel covers, but with all the Disney characters. And this obviously is an homage of Avengers 4, so I wanted this for my Avengers collection. I had seen pictures of it online. They had a whole bunch of the different Disney 100th anniversary ones there for basically cover price, $4 each. I thought about getting some of the other ones. I decided just to get this one since I am an Avengers fan. Here's the wonky bit that doesn't make any sense to me. Is that this is not an issue of Avengers. Now, Marvel puts out, you know, it seems like they put out a dozen issues of Avengers every month, but they have a multiple Avengers series. There's issues of Avengers coming out like every other week, right? You would think that they would be able to find an issue of Avengers to put this cover on. But even though this says Avengers on it, when you open it up, it's an issue of Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah. And there it is on the back. Amazing Spider-Man 17, I don't know what the actual number is, what the legacy number is. Let's see if it says inside anywhere. Um, Amazing Spider-Man 17, whatever that means. So it's just one of the weirdest decisions recently. And Marvel has done a lot of weird things, but why would you not just put this on an issue of Avengers? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I looked through some of the back issue bins of stuff that hadn't been priced, and I found a couple things that asked about. This was $5. I've never actually seen this. I'm not really an underground comics person, but this is one that I was interested in for a while. The series Women's Comics. This is issue 7. It's got this really cool cover here. This is from 1976. At least that everything inside is copyrighted 1976. I don't know if this might be a later printing. It doesn't say anything inside. Now, as I mentioned, I'm not really a huge fan of underground comics. I don't really know that much about them, but it is interesting. It's all female comic creators, and there's a lot of adult content comics about women, by women, for women, and I like that. It's different from the usual voices we see, and this is just a really cool cover. So for $5, I thought it was a really cool pickup. I specifically asked any romance, no romance. Archie, they said they might have some. Then I asked about Barbie, and the guy said no, they definitely didn't have any Barbie because everyone's trying to find it for the movie, and maybe if I waited till after the movie, but definitely no Barbie. Well, I went over in the kids section to look for the Archie stuff, and they didn't really have much of that, but they actually had a giant pile of Barbie. So I'm going to be doing another video to come out when the Barbie movie comes out at the end of the month, where I'm just going to show off some of my favorites. But I did get a big pile of Barbie stuff. A couple of these I already had copies of, but I just bought extras because they were only $1 each. So, Barbie fashion. A lot of these covers, the art does look like design artwork, like like clothing designers, the kind of sketches they have. They also have, they're very graphic in the use of like the color schemes and stuff. This is one that I didn't have. I thought it was pretty cool. It's Barbie Fashion 26. Again, you have some real contrasting colors. The bright orange against the green, which is a little bit lost on me. Barbie's very tan on this cover, and also everything again, sort of like if you ever watch Project Runway or something, when you see the sketches when they're sketching out the fashion designs, they're always very flat, two-dimensional, and a lot of the covers have a very flat two-dimensional feel to them. Here's one that I've showed before, but I wanted to pick up another copy whenever I see it. It's Barbie Fashion 39, and this is an Amanda Conner cover, and like a number of her more popular covers from the series, it's a swipe, not an homage, because they don't mention anything, but this is a swipe from Betty number 8 from Archie Comics. And so this is a popular one. The swimsuit covers by Amanda Conner, there's 2 or 3 of them, and they're popular. So this is one, it's probably $10 or $15 on eBay. It's not going to set the world on fire, but this has some creases. Barbie's hard to find in nice grades, so it's got a couple long creases here. It may still be better condition than the one I already have, so I'm going to double check on that. Here's a nice that's Barbie Fashion 39. So, and then we have issues of Barbie. This one has, again, some creasing at the top, some bending, but it's a nice teacher cover. We got all the apples. All the students love Barbie. We've got the chalkboard with the black background, sets it off nicely. Speaking of black backgrounds, this is one of my favorite covers from Barbie. I already have a copy that's pretty nice, but for $1, I definitely was not going to pass up a second copy. Black background. We got the New Year's Eve theme, the clock hitting midnight, and all the party streamers. So it's not like there's a couple. There's one where she's like a lounge singer with a black background where she's in the yellow spotlight. That's my favorite. Again, I'll do a whole video on this to come out with the movie, but this is right up there. It's very similar in design. So I really dig this one quite a lot. This is Barbie 51. And then we have Barbie 54. This one, the back cover is all janked up. The front cover is not too bad. And it's some nice colors, nice tropical setting where she's in the jungle. You got the nice waterfall. So I really like this one. Again, I already have a copy. I'm guessing the one I have already is nicer than this, but you know, you don't see these very often, particularly the later run Barbies. When you get up past issue 50, you don't see that much. So for $1 each, I wanted to get those. And then finally, here's the big score of the day. I was looking through all of their unpriced things, and there was just like one in there that was priced. Now, the way they do the prices, they put little colored stickers on it, and this one had a $20 yellow sticker on it. And I snatched it up because I think $20 is a real steal for this, because this is a key issue, minor key, but still a key. It is Flash number 137. Now, this issue, when I first got into comics, I actually had a copy. This wasn't as nice as this one that I got out of a quarter bin. The first time I ever went to a comic book store, the issues I bought one of the oldest things I could find. I got Avengers 36 and Fantastic Four 61, but then there was also a 25-cent a quarter bit box on the floor, and I got a Flash 137 where someone had written on the filled out this coupon thing. They had written in their name and address, and I got an Amazing Adventures Alice Amazing Adventures number 6 for 25 cents each with Dr. Groom. Those are all long gone, but at the time, you know, this was getting a lot of hype as the first Silver Age Justice Society, which it technically isn't, because they have a cameo in issue 129. Now, I'm not a Flash fan, and I haven't really read them that much. I think in 129, we just see them for a couple panels. This one has more of the Justice Society in it, and I think there might be, and I could be wrong about this, a couple members of the Justice Society that weren't in 129, so this is their first Silver Age appearance. It's also the first Silver Age Vandal Savage. I think it's the third appearance, maybe fourth, but I think third appearance of Earth 2 and the Golden Age Flash. Now, it's a nice copy. It has a couple issues with it. It's got a small tear right up here in the top corner. It also has a ding and smudge here with a little bit of staining around it. Now, I'm colorblind, so I don't really see it that much. But other than that, it's actually quite nice. Back cover is actually quite clean and nice. So it's a little hard for me to grade with that sort of smudge and thing there. You know, my first instinct when I saw it was because of the little tear up at the top. I was thinking it was probably a 5.5 or 5. I think with the smudge, maybe its technical grade is probably lower, 4.5. But it's a very, maybe even a 4, but I want to say a 4.5. It's a really nice looking copy, and it's very flat, clean, again, other than that stain. But it's flat, sharp, it's really nice. So for $20, I thought it was a real steal. I've done a little looking online. It doesn't seem like it's as big of a deal as it used to be, but still, I think in this condition, it's probably worth 50, 60 bucks. So I don't know how long I'll be keeping it, but it does have a lot of nostalgia for me, since it's one of the first back issues I ever got as a kid. And I haven't had it since the, mid 80s. I got rid of it sometime in the late 80s when I was doing a lot of trading and stuff, and selling back issues. So at some point 35 years ago or whatever, I got rid of it. So it's really cool to have another copy. So again, I was kind of skeptical when I went in there, but I ended up finding some cool stuff. They had a couple other things that I'd never seen before. They had a unpriced short box of mostly Marvel westerns, and in one of my previous videos, I had gotten what's the text, somebody or other, Gunslinger, from Marvel. Number one has a Steranko cover. Um, Now that series didn't last very long, but I didn't even realize they had more issues. But they had a Gunslinger number three. Man, I've never seen that before, but it was really beat up, and I didn't really want to pay $5 or $10 for a book that beat up, so I left it there. But they had some interesting stuff there. It's just at the time I went in, it hadn't been sorted yet. So if you're there, just know that you're gonna have to search through a lot of stuff with no idea what it's going to be priced at. Or if if you're going a few months later, from when I went here at the beginning of July in 2023, by the time you go, it might all be done. But overall, it was a cool store, and I'm very happy with the stuff I got. So that's it for this time. Next time I'll be back with two stores that I went to. One that was kind of a letdown, and one that is not my type of store, but I got something very strange there, strange for me, that I don't really know much about. So have that to look forward to. Two more stores next time. But for now, let me know what you think down below. I'll see you next time.